a terrifying, true camping horror story. I never thought a camping trip with my dad would change the way I see the world forever. My name is Ethan, and I was 17 at the time. My dad, Greg, was a man who thrived on adventure. To him, the wilderness wasn't just a getaway, it was home. He often said, "Out there, it's just you and nature. That's where life is real." So when he suggested we spend a weekend camping deep in the woods, 200 miles from the nearest town, I didn't hesitate. If I knew what was waiting for us, I would have begged to stay home. The first day felt like something out of a travel brochure. We set up camp near a stream, surrounded by towering pines that reached endlessly into the sky. The sunlight filtered through the trees in golden streaks. The air was crisp and cool, and the sound of the water was soothing. My dad was in his element. "This is paradise," he said with a grin as he showed me how to set up a proper fire pit. For a while, I believed him, but even then, something felt off. As the sun dipped below the horizon and the forest grew darker, the lively energy of the day seemed to vanish. The usual nighttime sounds, chirping crickets, rustling leaves, faded into an eerie silence. It wasn't peaceful, it was oppressive, as if the forest itself were holding its breath. I felt a strange unease settle in my chest, but I didn't say anything. I didn't want my dad to think I was scared. On the second day, my dad suggested we explore deeper into the woods. He packed a small bag with snacks and water, and we followed the stream upstream. The further we went, the denser the forest became. The trees grew closer together, their twisted branches forming grotesque shapes that blocked out the sunlight. The air grew colder, and every step seemed to echo unnaturally. Even my dad, usually so confident, looked uneasy. "We should head back soon," he said quietly, glancing over his shoulder. That night, the unease from the previous evening returned, stronger than ever. We sat by the campfire, neither of us saying much. The silence around us felt suffocating, as though the forest itself were alive and watching us. Then we heard it, a sound in the distance. At first it was faint, like the snap of a twig, but it grew louder, heavier. Footsteps, deliberate, purposeful. My dad tensed, his eyes fixed on the darkness beyond the firelight. "Probably just a deer," I whispered, trying to convince myself, but deep down I knew it wasn't. The steps were too heavy, too rhythmic. Whatever was out there was big.